Hi all, welcome back to TCM Education. And as always, lately we have a triple digit, nearly a quadruple digit winner on our power list or daily power list. This time it's a biotech stock, MiNK Therapeutics. And again, we have the same scenario where a stock that was worth basically nothing a couple of months ago, we'll see the daily in a minute, does this reverse split trick, and couple of weeks later the good announcement is coming in with very poor liquidity that creates a, let's call it a tornado effect on stocks, and the immediate gap up turns into a flurry of demand, and that propels the stock in an unprecedented way. We'll see the chart in a second. That's INK Therapeutics. Let's look at the YTD chart. Basically this chart tells the whole story. So what do we have here? Nothing. And basically in February the stock went through a reverse split of 10 to 1. So an 80-cent stock became an $8 stock. That's of course is happening only on, let's put it this way, horrible companies that have no business and they're on the verge of being delisted from the Nasdaq. So they created the reverse split. We talked about this phenomenon many times. So now they suddenly are a legit company, but still nothing changed fundamentally. The value of the company stays the same. The liquidity dives by 90%, and then the stock continues its let's call it this way, not choppiness. It's just not doing anything for another 5 or 6 months until Thursday or maybe Friday morning, and then we see this huge gap. And then it goes ballistic from opening the trading day at 20, trading as high as 76, closing at 64. It's now down another 20%. So basically now in the aftermarket, and I'm doing this video Saturday morning, the stock is at 50. So basically it's down from 75 to 50. That's 1/3 of its value. That's minus 33% in a matter of I don't know. We'll see how much time did it take. So again, with regard to trading the stock, obviously by now I hope you know, guys, that this is impossible to trade. Maybe it's possible to guess what's going on. So let's take a look at the 3-minute chart. So this is the 3-minute chart. Let me refresh it of the stock. You see the beginning, the modest beginning at 20 after gapping up from 750. So it starts trading at 20. It gets halted a couple of times. Anytime you see this mini bar, it means that the stock is getting halted either up or down. And once it comes down to the view up, that's very interesting to see, because overall it acted very technically, relatively. Okay, so the spreads were a bummer to trade a $60 stock with a $1 spread, not to mention the horrible liquidity and the slippage. So that's pretty much the support level, the view up area, and then it closed up another nearly 40%. And since then it dived back to 50 in the aftermarket, and you don't know if this one can open Monday here or here. So again, because of the poor liquidity, is prone to, again, very easy manipulation, especially in the pre-market. Now is this announcement that the company went through, where they announced, let me actually read it to you because we have time, if you don't mind, news. So Mink Therapeutics announces the publication of complete remission following some trial. They call it allogenic ink cell, whatever. We don't know. We are not obviously in the medical field. We don't know how important this therapy is for the public. How valid this announcement is. All we know is that if we look at the daily chart, we see this huge, incredible pile up in the stock where the volume, which was pretty much zero, skyrockets to nearly, let's call it 50 million. And this is 50 million. It's obviously a little bit less, but I just want to make so overall the volume before was 2000. Wow, absolutely no volume for months. Okay, so let's take a look actually in a good volume day. A good volume day was 350,000 shares. That was on February 4th, a couple of days after the reverse split. So that on a good day it had 350,000. Now it has 50 million. You do the math. I mean, this is a markup of I don't know, 20%, 20,000% or 2,000%. The numbers are ridiculous. I mean, you just need to look at the at this huge bar here versus the rest of the volume bar. So again, who piled up here? Is it institutional traders? Is it the general public? Is it day traders, scalp traders? Who knows? Okay. If we look at the shareholder profile of this company, there is one big shareholder that's Agenus Incorporated. They own 50% of the shares, and those are the guys that made this incredible leap in value. And I don't know if they're selling shares or whatever they're doing. Obviously, if we're looking for any institution, I see one here, at least one that I know, Vanguard. And that's pretty much it. So we can't count on institutions. And again, if you want to trade this one, you need to know that it's not trading. It's more resembles more guessing and gambling, and you need to take a lot of risk. And indeed, the reward can be absolutely awesome. But there is a caveat with those stocks. You hold a position overnight, you may end up with 50% loss, maybe more, on Monday, or 120. We've seen all those events happening. Just guys, look at the charts of SBET. Let me see. I had written down a couple of stocks that went through reverse splits, and then they skyrocketed. And SBT is clearly one of them. There were plenty of others. I just don't have the symbols in front of me. Okay, here I have the symbols. So SBT, NKTR, KWE, CYN, BMNR, BGLC, ARTL, EYEN. So that's only probably part of the list, because I'm not following 100% of the stocks that did the reverse split and then skyrocketed. So anybody that's in this business, it's a super risky business. Buyers beware, clearly. Okay, now let's move into the normal trading day yesterday, which was a bit, let's call it boring. We had a couple of big movers down, and obviously Circle. If you watch Circle, not losing its mojo, it's still up times 6 or times 7 since the IPO. But we're starting to see, if we look at the daily chart, some red days, and of course the move from 30 to 300 was obviously not sustainable. The stock is shortable. So CRCL, those who wanna, at least on this platform, on the Mumu platform, it is shortable. Again, those who watch the channel and the trade, I don't know where you're trading, and obviously different brokers have different issues with IPOs. It's open and shortable on Mumu. It doesn't mean that it's shortable on other platforms. So it's shortable today. It may not be shortable tomorrow. So, but again, this stock needs to be watched, and if it's not shortable, so you don't trade it. There was another great mover yesterday that actually was not shortable, at least not on my platform. Let me show you the chart, which was amazing. Take a look at this unbelievable short pattern in CRWV. CRWV is another IPO that did amazingly well this year, and basically, if we I'm going to look at the daily chart, YTD, you'll see that the stock was IPO'd at 40, climbed almost as high as 190, so that's a factor of nearly 400%. And now going through a pullback, which is obviously on the table. This one is not shortable. Having said that, there is a lot to learn from this short play yesterday, and this is a type of a trade where day traders can take advantage. We've seen pattern like this in Circle, CRCL. So what happens? The stock dives. And mainly at round numbers creates a consolidation over a tight range. In this case, it was between 130 and 130.60, and you had roughly 30 minutes. Sorry about the language here; it's in Hebrew by mistake. Roughly 30 minutes to prepare for this trade. Again, it's not shortable, just for educational purposes. And unless you can short it on your platform. Again, I don't know which platform has shorts, and obviously it's impossible to guess. But the risk reward is what matters here. And if you can trade a $130 stock with a 60-cent stop loss, which means 0.5%, of risk is super valuable when you trade the strategy of fixed position, because immediately you can translate it to your position. Let's say $10,000. If the risk is $50, can you withstand the risk of $100? Sure. Okay, you increase your position to $20,000, and you can basically scale in and out very easy if you're comfortable with the risk or not. So 0.5% risk is very, very low risk, and the result was a move of $4, which is like 4%, and on a 0.5% risk, that's a 8-to-1 risk reward, which is amazing. Again, you need to observe it. There are so many things that need to happen for this trade to come alive. First of all, shorts, then observing the trade, then taking the risk. Again, those 100 plus dollar stocks that had traded so much volume, I mean, this one trades trading 16 million shares, tend to be very volatile. It's almost impossible. I would dare you to find a low risk under 2% entry point. I don't want to say it's not possible, but it's very, very hard, okay, to find an entry point where you can risk according to the chart only. And again, a reasonable risk, not a random where you can entry where you cannot prepare. Here you had 30 minutes to prepare, and assuming there are shorts on your platform, this can be. And again, you don't need a lot of shares to get into great results, because by definition this contraction in price or bear flag formation can result in an explosion of the price in the direction of the stock. I mean, it can happen both ways, If it works against you, you lose 0.5%. No harm done. If it doesn't go against you, like in this case and in many cases, and you wait, you may end up with a huge risk reward. And this is, let's face it, an 8-to-1 RR is amazing. So that's RR 8-to-1 risk reward. That's super V. Okay, that's something that we don't see very often, and there's a lot of learn from those setups. I encourage you to go to our channel and look at the playlist, the new playlist that covers a lot of intraday trades. I will post the link to the playlist in the description. I encourage everybody to, if you have the time over the weekend or whenever, there are plenty of examples that are awaiting you guys. And hopefully you'll find them helpful, and take this resource and execute as much as possible. Okay, so let's move to two additional stocks that were on my watch list that also were great performers. Hold on a second. Okay, guys, I'm ready. Let's go to the winning column this time, on the daily power list, and let's take a look at UMAC, unusual machines. Okay, so we can see one amazing thing here. This range percentage is 40%. So if INKT is totally off base, this one is also an important number, and we have NEXT, an important number, and Sharplink Gaming is almost on a daily basis here on the list. So let's take a look at first at UMAC. Okay, UMAC. So what happens here? First of all, the stock is starts the trading day under $10, but immediately jumps over $10. So we are not following the stocks under $10. Okay, that's clear. So now it jumps up and starts trading at 11, and you can see here that between 10 and 10, nearly 10:30, it sits here up and down over 11. So if you want to get on board with this stock, and this is the reason why you should, let me show you the chart. This is again the huge pickup in volume. It's easy to observe there's a huge pickup in volume very early in the day. So there is a gap up, a huge pickup in volume. That should lead to the decision to look at this stock and decide, maybe, again, according to each one's strategy, to buy. Now, where can you buy? Of course, you can buy at 10 or whatever. That's very fast, and the stock runs also very aggressively. Now the only place where you have some time to make the decision and maybe take the trade and maybe bear the risk, because what is the risk if you enter at 11? Is it 30 cents, 50 cents, a dollar? You want to have the answer before you enter the trade. Now, if you observe it, okay, very early, it's very hard to pick up a stop loss here. I mean, you can, after the stock sits here about 20 to 30 minutes, may decide that it's going to be 22 cents, which is 2%, or you may decide that you're going to want to take more risk, or you may decide that you're not taking this trade, but the result is actually amazing. So it snaps up 70 cents, comes back to the entry, which is very tricky. I myself, had I been in this trade, I would have been out of it, which is unbelievable, because it comes back to the entry after it's up 7% or 6%, comes back to the entry, which is 3 times the risk. If the risk is 20%, 20 cents, that's 2%. Now it goes up 70 cents, that's 6%, and comes back to the entry and then goes up $2, which is in this case 10%. Is it? No, $2 is 20%. On a $10 stock, $2 is, yeah, $2 is nearly 20%. So this move is 20%. And because of the volatility, it's, I have to say that if you manage it according to our strategy, you stop out, which is shameful. I mean, weird things happen in stocks, but this one is to give up on such a great move, and the stock ends up 40%. Anyway, that's the danger of trading those double digit, not to mention the triple digit intraday movers. The volatility is insane. The technicalities are way poorer than on average stocks. And obviously, sometimes you need the lucky factor. This time it's not happening. So again, if anybody managed to take this trade and did it successfully, and you can comment on that, please do it by any means. Okay, let's move to the last idea here today. Where is it? Let me see. This stock, NXT. Now, again, NXT, if we look at the daily chart, we see the same phenomenon. Huge pickup in volume that can be observed very early in the day. And this is a super important factor, the huge pickup in volume. Now, how do you trade it? Okay, first of all, you need it to move over 10, so you observe it. Okay, because if it's not over 10, we cannot watch it. So the stock basically moves over 10 pretty early in the morning. So that's the entry, and 10 is always super important and round number. Practically the gateway for a small cap or a micro cap, like in this case, to take to take a dive into maybe what can be a change of pace for investors in the stock. And you can see the risk here is 10 cents, so it fits the strategy of taking basically no more than 1% of risk. And this is clearly you can see this entry, sorry, this stop loss, and the entry is $10, and the result is amazing. Again, $10 goes up to 1080 and closes, which is another super important part of our strategy, closes at the highs of the day. So it closes up 80 cents on a 10 cent risk. And again, if we're counting R&R, that's the magic 8 to 1. 8 to 1 is great. Great. Now, again, how many shares do you, how big is the position? That's your personal decision. You can enter with a $10,000 position or a $50,000 position. The volume overall was, not amazing, 10 million shares, but if we count the breakout here, over 10, there were 325,000 shares. So 325,000 shares, it's a huge number for anybody that's day trading. You can enter with 500 shares, with 3,000 shares. It won't, you won't have any influence on the price action at all, zero, because the volume is tremendous. And there may be some slippage, but overall that's a miniature part of this move. So it's not an early entry, but it's a round number, actually the most important round number other than maybe 50 or 100. So it doesn't get rounder than 10. It's on the list. It has the volume support. Next decade, if you ask me, guys, what is this stock doing, I'm not sure. I think it's clean energy, but I may be wrong. We'll have to read them. You know what? Let's read the profile very fast. Developed company focuses on liquefied natural gas. Okay, so it's clean energy, but not solar energy. Okay, that's this is the fourth stock that we are discussing this morning. I hope this review helps you. If you need you have any additional questions, please use our email as always, and consider our mentoring sessions. And you have those who are new to trading, our Day Trading Explained course available on the channel. Thanks for being here. Do like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.